Welcome back, everybody. It's Sport Federation TV. As you know, and of course every week we talk about sport in the province, and we are really seeing sport up and running. All systems go. Provincial competitions, intercontinental championships, district championships, and of course World Cups happening here in the Western Cape itself. But in addition to that, our athletes are coming through the Western Cape structures and are getting into South African teams and are beginning to compete back on track at a big pace internationally. In studio with me now, Patrick Collings, President of Western Cape Fencing. Patrick, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is like your home ground, provincial structures. Nice to have you here.
Good to be here.
And when I know that you're involved intensely internationally, in South Africa nationally, but when you're sitting here, we're talking about your Western Cape athletes. They really are shining. Every time we talk, it's another step.
Absolutely. And you know, this is the home base. This is
Yeah.
where it all starts, where it all ends. This is what's important.
So your big trip now in the last couple of weeks, I know that previous to this, we of course spoke about your travels to Birmingham with the Commonwealth Championships. More recently now, Ghana, competition there. Tell us about this.
Yeah, it's the Junior African Fencing Championships from under 15 to under 20. And the first thing we get, people go, fencing in Africa? Isn't that like a European sport? But no, fencing is really big in Africa, and also it's really good in épée, which is one of the major weapons in fencing. In under 20 men's épée, number 2 and number 3 in the world are Egyptians.
Well, I was going to say, your previous one was in Egypt, right?
We've been to Egypt before, yes. We have been, and the Egyptians are absolutely magnificent, and they had their A team there. They were stacked, I mean, and they were. And we sent a team of 14, 6 from the Western Cape.
To Ghana this year?
To Ghana.
Yeah.
So it was a smallish team, 14, 6 from the Western Cape, and we came back with 8 medals. So I'm really happy about that.
Wow, that's fantastic.
4 individual, 4 team. And in the individual, Western Cape brought 3 of them home.
Wow.
Ewan Kruger was 3rd in under 17 men's épée, and he was 6th in under 20. And you look at these 19, 18-year-olds, and he has 15-year-old Ewan, and he's really bringing his A game. Fantastic.
He competed previous against the adults.
He's competed against adults.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at future top of the world type athlete. Tristan McDonald, first competition, under 15 African champion. He came 6th in under 17, phenomenal fence as well. Tyler Ray Glynn from the Eden district, 3rd in under 15, fantastic, great way to go. Look at the teams. We got bronze in under 20 men's épée. Western Cape was in there. We got silver in under 17 men's épée, under 17 women's épée, and under 17 women's foil, all with Western Cape fences.
So you've been working with these athletes for quite a while now, from the time that they were young.
Yeah, when they were smaller than me, now they're taller. But not just me. I mean, there are other great coaches. Misha Galukan, Susan Agrela, Randall Daniels. Many coaches have put so much effort in it, and it's so fantastic to see it.
But can you see? Do you feel like, because when I have the conversation with you, we've been talking so closely about fencing over the last few years. It's almost as if I can track the athletes from having competed in the Africa Championships, going to Birmingham, going back to Egypt, and now to Ghana. There seems, there's a thread. There's a thread of conversation of athletes that have progression through the ranks. Do you feel that? Like if you step back, you go, hey, we started here and now look where we are now.
Yeah, you do. And sometimes you go in the old photographs and you go, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just grown up around you. And now, we've got going to olds, we've got fencers who have left juniors and now are starting to make their way in the international stage. And it's really rewarding. It's fantastic to see these Western Cape fencers perform nationally and now perform internationally.
Yeah, when an athlete starts fencing with you, you can tell the difference very easily. I mean, probably a public spectator can tell the difference between a novice fencer and someone who's winning medals. But when you guys are at your level, the differences are small.
The differences are really small.
Yeah.
It comes down to the smallest thing, and that's for any sport. When you get to that elite level, it's become so much a mind game. It becomes to work under pressure, to perform under pressure, and just this whole support team you need. It's not just the coach, strength and conditioning, it's the sports psychologist, it's the nutritionist, it's a whole village is required to build it. And it's the sports administrators, the fact that they make things possible. It's going out there and making it possible to get funding for athletes from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. There's so much that goes behind getting them on the stage. And
so talk to me about that a little bit from a high performance perspective. If we talk about high performance for an athlete, whether it be athletics or swimming or rugby, there's a big move towards nutrition and sleep and breathing and so many sort of small, fine-tuned scientific sports psychology.
Absolutely. I mean, we bring these specialists in and we work as a team. And we say, what are the needs of the athlete? We have a head coach who say, well, this is what I'm trying to achieve. And then the strength and conditioning, the nutritionist. We've got the sports psychologists who come in. We've got the breathing. And it becomes, to perform on that level, you really need a massive team behind you. The data analysis, the video analysis.
Yeah. But when you talk about a team behind you, one of the things is always to make sure that you've got a good home environment or a family supporting you, because as an athlete, you're working full-time. You're an unpaid athlete. I'm assuming your fees are not being paid on contract, so to speak. But the home environment, I suppose, is critical for you guys.
It is. It's the support from the families, and they come from different backgrounds. Some come from broken families, some come from solid families. But whatever it is, it's bringing in there, and the support they've got to get, and the school support to say, yes, you can go and compete. You will catch up with your work, and the sacrifices that families make to get their child is incredible. I mean, all of the parents and the guardians and whoever's out there.
So did the athletes have to come home after having learned one of these high performance aspects, whether it be psychology or sleep or food? Do they got to take it home again?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then on top of that, when they take it home, they've got to do their homework and they've got to study. And what they do is, I don't think I could have ever done it. I mean, all of them. Just what they take on and how they do it. I mean, these kids came back. And they're not really kids. I mean, these are athletes. These are performing international. Yeah. They came back to win straight back to school. Yeah. I mean, I was like, I thought, okay, well, I need a day or two to rest.
So under 15, under 17, and under 20s at Ghana. Talk us through it. You guys were there for 8 days.
We're there for 8 days, yeah. So to arrive 2 days before, to acclimatize, make sure your stuff arrives, then go through the competitions. There are normally 3 events a day. And some days you'll fence on one day, then you'll have a couple of days break and you'll fence on something else. Some of them even had like a 5-day break. And, it's to keep them busy during the time.
How many countries?
I think we had 15 countries at this one. I'm speaking under correction.
And so the athletes themselves, how many times did they fence? How many times was it?
A couple of them fenced in up to 4 competitions. Some may have fenced only in 1 competition. It depends whether they were in the team and the individual. It depends whether they were in the under 17 and under 20, what they're qualified for. What
comes next now on the calendar?
Next is our first provincial. The next weekend, that will be the weekend of the 18th and 19th. Really forward to that. It's going to be our first provincial of the year. We're going to have it at Crystal House out in Ottery. Favorite place for us. The work that's done there in the fencing in that community is fantastic. Wonderful to have it there. A lot of first-timers coming in. Really looking forward to that. A lot of under-15s, their first competition. So
is this on the 14th of April?
No.
Sorry, on the date?
This is the next Saturday and Sunday. I think it's the 18th and 19th.
Okay, so it's 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time, Western Cape Championships.
No, first provincial. First of the championship, but first provincial. There'll be 3 in the year, so really looking forward to it.
So kids, moms and dads, everybody going to be there?
They're all going to be there. They're going to be nervous. They're going to
Will you be standing on the side watching?
I stand on the side and watch.
And do you use that opportunity as a talent identification?
I think we're doing that all the time.
You do it all the time?
We look all the time for talent.
But
a lot of coaches, I'll catch up with some of my colleagues there, speak to them, and they'll tell me what's coming through. So it's a really great time. Great time to connect, and it's where it all starts. It starts in the Western Cape, and we grow from there. So it's fantastic.
Patrick, again, always special to have you in studio. Congratulations to the athletes. Well done. I mean, medaling again from Western Cape, South Africa, of course. No, it's great stuff. We're looking forward to seeing what comes from the provincial champs.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me here, Gary.
There we go, folks. Patrick Collings, president of Western Cape Fencing. And wow, our athletes just keep growing. They just keep getting better and better. And it's been fantastic, as I said, to follow the progression from Africa Championships to South African Championships and then to international champs. And now, of course, the Africa Championships again. And now we're back home. provincial champs coming up. Crystal House in a fortnight. Why don't you go and have a look? Maybe even get involved with fencing. Find a club near you. They really are doing fantastic. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking sport in the province. Don't go away.